when you talk,
Like you
always something comes up afterwards. But I do have one more question, but let's finish this first. Why are we doing the social media thing?
We're doing it to get to know our audience, to kind of build a community within what we do as an industry. We do vehicle testing, and we're doing some engineering, car engineering, on an app. From my understanding, correct me, our boss man will let me know if I have anything wrong. But we're creating something so that manufacturers can reach out to us and use our services. And so what we're trying to do outside of that is also build a community of people that are like-minded and love cars the way Erkan and Sam does, and myself now that I'm learning about cars, and get involved into that and bringing it to some visibility, right?
Right. But why social media, and why those platforms that we chose? Why Instagram? Why TikTok? Why LinkedIn? Why YouTube? And maybe why something else? Why those platforms? Because there's a lot of platforms like Snapchat, Be Real, what we heard, right?
Okay.
Why those? I know why we chose LinkedIn, because it's B2B,
Okay.
right? Business to business. Get connected to different companies, OEMs, maybe also suppliers, service providers that might, contract projects for us. It's basically, obviously we're a small company, but other companies do have more access to bigger companies, but they are maybe not able to perform that service for that OEM that they might give us access to that, contracted to perform the project for them that they are not able to. That's why B2B, business to business, obviously also for applicants, engineers, and all that stuff. Besides Indeed and ZipRecruiter isn't, it's okay, but not in our industry. LinkedIn is specifically for business to business, to promote also our company to other companies. That's our biggest, I would say, the largest platform for us.
That generates leads?
That generates, projects. We actually won 3 projects through LinkedIn because of our presence there.
That's awesome.
That's really great. That's good. Let me try to park here.
You don't have a backup camera, bro?
No, it's a poor man car. It's a poor man.
Definitely no poor man's
spec.
car, but I was like, you don't got a backup camera?
No, I don't. I'm sorry, Scott. Maybe you can help me to step up our social media game.
Okay.
That we can generate also maybe collaborations with brands and stuff, that we can have more income to be able to buy the more luxurious model.
Okay, so he's putting that back on me, guys, to pull in more people. Well, yeah, we'll do that. I'll work on commission base, so that way we can all have a model. So right now we're gonna go stuff our faces because we love eating at this company. Or my boss loves eating, and I just like joining.
And what do you believe how Instagram and TikTok will change in the future, based on obviously on the content, based on the storytelling? Do you think there will be any changes on the format for TikTok in general? The same with the Instagram as well. Do you think that will change in the future, or maybe in a near future?
But just looking at it as a user, right? Instagram, I feel like would be more like an e-commerce store eventually.
Amazon?
That's what they're driving to do. And listening to other social marketing, people that are specialists in this, they kind of look at that platform as building that. Where I think video for TikTok, though, I think TikTok will eventually go into, we have a major user base. People are generating content talking about behind the scenes. but now they're gonna amp up the quality, like how good of quality, like, and not quality as in visual. I think quality as in storytelling, quality as in, like, you know, your vocals, like how good can you convey and like talk to people about what you're doing or what you want to do, or like, you know, immersing people into that community that you're trying to build. I'm a user at the end of the day.
Who knows?
Yeah. I'm a user at the end of the day. I get hired out by my good sir over here to provide services on the video aspect of things. I'm no marketing specialist, but
obviously we do also like analyze and talk like constantly every
Yeah.
day about strategy and why and what and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
No, definitely. And that is part of the process. If you're in this, right, as a company for AMEC, like we look at how our community is doing. We look at the viewership. We look at all those things to give us indicators if we're creating content that is usable, that people want to see.
Yeah, like the data behind all of the stuff that we post.
Yeah.
What's happening behind the scenes, where we want to go with that content.
Like, are people liking the stuff we're talking about, right? I would point this back on you and ask you a question. It's like, we gotta look at what the viewers are liking. But what happens if nobody's in? Like, this is a good question to think about.
Really,
what happens if nobody's interested in the vehicle process, like the testing? Like, do you feel like we can build an audience off of that? Like, what if they're not interested in the stuff we talk about? And those are the things where I think is interesting, because that's why we look at analytics, right? That's why we look at the data to tell us how we're doing.
Right.
We're not blindly creating stuff just to create it.
There's a reason why we are shooting out, or why we put content out there, and which topics we want to try to talk about. But to answer your question, I have no idea. It's also kind of like a documentation process about the company, where we were and where we are now and where we want to be in a couple of years.
Okay.
Plus audience, building the audience, building the community is good, but also it's marketing and branding as well, because we want to be there with the company, that every supplier or every customer knows why we are existing, so that everybody knows, okay, AMEC is a company, they do vehicle testing, not only from the B2B perspective, also from employee perspective. Oh, that's a company, they do vehicle testing, just like like Nike, Supreme, you know what they are standing for.
Yeah.
So it's actually branding. Oh, that when you talk about logo, did we ever talked about? I guess not. I'm not sure if we showed this on TV. Mm-hmm. What those 4 dots mean and what they are standing for.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
We did not?
No, I gotta check our YouTube, but I don't think you ever talked about it. Like, we have a good few videos in there, but I don't think you ever described.
No, we did not.
Like what it stands for.
The 4 dots stands for our family members. So it's obviously we are 4 in our family, and AMEC means A is the capital letter from my wife's name.
Okay.
M is my daughter Mimi.
Okay.
E is obviously me, it's Erkan, and C is Jihan, my son. And those 4 dots are our favorite colors. Black is my favorite color.
Okay.
Blue is my blue purplish is my daughter's favorite color.
Okay.
And green stands for my son.
Okay.
And gray is for my wife.
Oh, really?
Gray is because gray is like kind of like mix of everything, and she's kind of like a backbone of our family. She's like holding us together, and that's why she's everywhere with that gray means that she's everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's the meaning behind it. And circles is always like bonded together. The basics of building a brand and branding, company, marketing. So do you think social media, we all know the answer to that, but it's necessary. Simply not only because of having the audience, having maybe the reach, but also for the company's future as well. If you have an existing audience for AMEC, and who knows that what we might have maybe in the books for future projects and internally for growth, it's easier to promote that maybe product, a new product, if you already have an existing audience, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's definitely necessary to have a social media presence.
I only want to build an audience because we want to promote a product.
Yeah.
I want to build an audience because they are interested in what you're doing as a business, right? And that's where I stick with the... Thank you. That's where I stick with the community. And I say community because that's what a community is, right? It's like-minded people. Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying, but I don't go with the intent, hey, I want to build an audience because... And I know that's not what you're saying,
no,
but
no.
like, you
it
know...
It sounds a little aggressive, I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
but the reason, I mean, everyone is like, how do you say, of course you create things, you put stuff out there, and everybody's free if they want to buy it or not. It's not like, okay, you have to buy this because we have this, cost or whatever, like the idea behind, and then it's not about that.
Yeah.
Right.
You're building stuff, and if people support the brand and they love what they're doing, what they're seeing, then they'll support it by buying the product, and that's what they want to do.
But what is the main reason then for having the audience, having the presence on social media platforms? It's because you want to sell something, whether it's a product, whether it's sharing knowledge.
But you're not selling knowledge, though.
You're not selling, but basically you're selling without paying it.
Yeah.
Selling does not always mean that you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm selling you an idea.
True.
Without charging you.
Interesting, yeah.
It is. Yeah. Because not everything is about money.
Yeah. I agree.
But that's a different topic in a different video, but people should get paid for their service.
True. 100%.
And
if not, I'd be working for free.
Exactly. And it's kind of like a service. So you have to somehow promote your product, promote your service, promote your idea. If it's from 10 people that are willing to pay, like 2 of the 10, you already won.
Yeah.
And if you have a bigger audience, a more spread out platform where you can promote your brand.
So to add to that, I think what I was trying to say is like, I agree with what you're saying, and I know that it's not the aggressive part, but it's informing and engaging, and there's a word I was thinking of.
Supporting?
Supporting is one of them, but it's to bring awareness of what you guys do. Like that's essentially that's the reason of your soul. Like that's the reason, it's awareness of what you do as a company, of a service you're providing. Mm-hmm. Yes, like I'm highlighting the selling part. That's what I'm thinking of. But you're pretty much, that's what you're doing. You're bringing awareness. The reason why you have socials is you're bringing awareness of what you do as a business. Yeah. That is the reason, right?
Yes.
And then in that awareness, people can say, oh, well, I saw AMEC on my socials, and I am, testing a new product for vehicles or like anything. I can reach out to these guys because they perform testing on services, right?
Yeah.
And then outside of that, not only are they looking at you because you provide that service, they go, hey, I think Erkan and Sam are super funny and knowledgeable, and I like every day, like I like what they're doing every day. On top of that, they provide a service that they can, provide for my company. I'm going to reach out to these guys because now they build a connection past just the service, right? They build a connection on you guys, like how they like you guys. Like, hey, these are 2 cool dudes running a business and starting up, and like, and that's where I look at it. That's how I see it. I don't see it, and that's, I think, my mentality too. It's like, I don't see it only because I want to sell something. I see it because I know that you guys are awesome people.
Yeah.
And like, not only, yes, we got to be making some kind of money, like we want to provide these services, but aside from that, I want to show people who you guys are, like what you guys stand for. And that's why the awareness, that's why I highlight awareness, because I want people to know that. Yeah. Like that's the way I look at our content, how we want to bring the content up. Not just selling something to you guys.
No. At the beginning it was, promoting the company to customers and not having the spread out idea, the whole like marketing strategy that we have right now. We didn't have that. And again, at the beginning there was no projects. And you start to figure out, okay, I need to have a project because I have bills to pay. Right?
Sure.
This is where we started. So that's why I have to admit, at the beginning it was promoting the company to get projects.
But no.
It's
and
the truth.
It still is. No, I'm not trying to disagree with that statement. But it's also, you want to show people, like, I guess there's no other way. You're saying it right. We're going in a circle because we're saying the same thing. We're just looking at it at two different perspectives, right? Because I am looking at it as, hey, we want to promote the business so that we can get business, right? We want to show people what we do so that they can come to us and say, hey, come and like use our services, right? Yes, thank you.
And for you?
I ordered like a whole pack of bacon. It looks like this looks
Awesome.
delicious.
Any hot sauce or ketchup?